Welcome everybody. We all know why we're here. There is a brand new trailer out for the 60th. I will not waste your time. Let's just dive right into this.
Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely. And it's gone. I lie in bed thinking, what have I lost?
Now, this angle with Donna is really interesting to me. Obviously, Russell T Davies is bringing back this iconic duo with these two characters. And I can't just help but think, okay, what direction are we taking here? It really does seem from the angle of this trailer that we are angling at her feeling, of course, oh yes, there's something missing. But when that something returns, what does that leave for Donna? What does that mean for the Doctor? Is this ultimately going to be an even more tragic ending than we had before, or is there potentially a happy angle here? What angle does Russell T Davies take? If we look at the previous exits of Companions,
I've got this friend called Donna Noble. I had to wipe her memory to save her life.
it's not particularly happy endings for really anybody at all. So I'm very curious with this particular story being the 60th anniversary specials, what does that mean for this character, for Donna? Is she going to be left in the same place as before? That seems highly doubtful, because then what's the point of bringing her back? So if she's left in a different place, what does that mean?
If she remembers me, she will die. So what happens next? The spaceship crashes right in front of her. It's like she's drawing us in.
Now, this angle here of all these strange things going on, definitely the way that it brings it back to the original run of the show, where there was so much going on that Donna somehow never seemed to notice, and now all of a sudden there's all of these things going on that it seems like Donna does notice. I quite like that as an angle, where it's sort of flipping what was going on before, and it's saying, no, she's got this thing that's missing, but now she's noticing the things that are wrong with the world. And I'm really curious how that's going to play out.
We've got a bloody Martian in the shed!
Don't look! Me! Oh, here we go again.
I also can't wait to see how Donna's family plays into this, obviously with Sylvia and Wilf. I mean, those are just really entertaining characters, and I can't wait to see the dynamics there with the Doctor and everything.
I don't believe in destiny, but if destiny exists, then it is heading for Donna Noble.
You know, as we see here, she's not happy to see the Doctor. Who would be at this point? This means the death of her daughter, potentially. So what does that mean for her?
And I've got a memory. After a very long time, something's coming back.
Who are they?
Monsters.
Now, there's been so much discussion about who this character is. Who does Neil Patrick Harris play? You know, people talk about the Toymaker and this and that. I kind of hope it's a new character. I kind of hope that it's, I don't know, just something fresh. I mean, it still can be the Toymaker and be a fresh iteration of that character and be something new and different, so it doesn't really matter that much.
There's something so bad the TARDIS ran away.
Yes.
We go
And kick its ass!
Now, the return of Unit, obviously we have seen Unit pretty recently, but in a fairly limited role. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. I mean, there's different ways that they have used Unit. Obviously, Unit was back in Russell T Davies' era as well. One of the things about the way they've used Unit recently is, of course, Lethbridge Stewart, Kate. And I am not a big fan of Kate. I feel that her character has been largely wasted on screen. I'm curious to see if Russell T Davies is going to be able to have a different spin on that, or if her character is going to feel like, to me, you know, I hate to be a hater, but this kind of lifeless void who just sort of shows up for a few minutes, does almost nothing, and then leaves. You know, I'm hopeful that's not going to be the angle here, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Kate Lethbridge Stewart!
What do we do this time, Doctor? How do we fight the human race?
Something entered this world.
Oh, but he is recognizing me.
Who is he?
The one who waits.
Open fire!
Why does it have to be this?
Now, this image in particular, it's hard to really take that and ignore it. I mean, seeing him like this, it's hard to not think, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a real strong possibility in terms of who this character could be. But I am excited to see what Neil Patrick Harris brings to the role, because he does make for a compelling villain.
Your fight is with me!
I don't know if I can save your life this time.
Now, they are talking here about this idea of, oh, can the Doctor actually save Donna this time? And, you know, when they tease at that, it's like, well, who knows if they're really going to go for that? I mean, if they're putting that in the trailer, it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe they won't actually deliver in terms of death, but, you know, it's one thing that you can't help but think about. I mean, again, bringing this character back, why would you bring this character back if not to deliver a different ending for that character? Maybe Donna's fate is not looking too good anymore, but we'll have to see.
Worldwide premiere!
And that's that, you know, a nice little shot of Ncuti's Doctor. I'm really excited to see the way that he's incorporated into these specials. I mean, it looks like we're in for something pretty unique here. 3 specials for the 60th anniversary, bringing us a new Doctor played by David Tennant, with a new Doctor played by Ncuti Gatwa also being introduced. It's unclear exactly how those things are going to be incorporated, how exactly you're going to introduce 2 new Doctors, where exactly Ncuti falls in all of this, and how that introduction is going to be melded into these specials. Because, you know, typically you have a Doctor, you have their era, and then you have the next Doctor, and you have their era. And those 2 things don't really meet except for at that regeneration. Now, there have been some exceptions, of course, with, say, Doctor's coming back, or like the 11th Doctor calling Clara, or seeing 12 before he's actually introduced properly. You know, there are ways the rules have been bent, so I'm really curious to see how does Russell T Davies bend the rules here. And one of the things I'm most excited for when it comes to these specials is Russell T Davies himself. Now, the man made 4 and a bit seasons of this show, and then he left, he made some other things, and now he's back. And I'm really curious to see what he has learned just as a television creative that he's going to bring to the show when he comes back. And again, the way that these specials are set up is pretty unique. We've never seen this before. 3 specials for the 60th anniversary. That is something new and fresh. It's not all being crammed into 1 hour long or hour and a half story. We have some breathing room here with the Doctor and Donna, and that is what is really curious to me, because they're going to have time for these adventures. So does she learn everything in the first story, and does it all come crumbling down by the 3rd? How long does she have where she actually knows who the Doctor is? Or does she spend most of it not knowing? What really is the angle here, you know? And I'm very fascinated to see how exactly Russell T Davies plays with that, because I have a lot of confidence in him as somebody who has made many great episodes and seasons of this show, especially with these very actors. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how all this plays out. We don't really know where it's going to go, but this is a very exciting trailer to see. Obviously, Russell T Davies bringing all of this together in this way, and I can't wait to see where all these pieces fit together and what exactly Donna's fate is going to be, because it might not be great. We'll have to wait and see. I'll be back to talk about the 60th specials when they do arrive, as well as some thoughts in between now and then. So if you have any thoughts about those, then feel free to leave them down below if you so wish. But if not, that is totally cool, so long as you know that I appreciate your time here today. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and have a lovely week.